Check. Let's talk about the markets, man. We just had Jerome Powell uh come out and speak after our 0.25 basis point point cut. 0.25 basis point cut. I think that's how you say it. We just want to talk about the market. Crypto is not really moving. Bitcoin is not really moving. I expected a little bit more volatility, but we're not getting it. We're not getting it right now. So, like I said, we'll continue to watch this for maybe the next 40 minutes, and then I gotta get up out of here. But we'll wait a minute, see if anybody jumps in. But right now, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, I kind of see some strength. To be completely honest with you, I like the fact that we keep hitting this resistance level at about 93. So as many times as we keep hitting it, I think the saying is the more times we hit it, the weaker that level gets. So this is a resistance level. So hopefully it continues to get weaker. Hopefully we can come in and we can break through and possibly get a nice trade going up to that $100,000 level. So let me actually go here, make sure everything is all good. Give me 1 second. So yeah, I think we are all good at this point. So I made a couple bangers today, a couple banger videos today talking about basically why I think why I think the Federal Reserve, how they're maneuvering right now, how they are making these directions and making these announcements and making these decisions with the rate cuts and things like that. I kind of think it doesn't really matter. It matters in the short term. But once we get that new Fed chair in, I think all bets are off. I kind of think all bets are off once we get a new Fed chair in. So I put 2 videos out. I just put one out like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, and then I put one out earlier. Let's see if we can go to it. And I was just talking about the actual, let's see, view your channel. I was just talking about, these some bangers too, if I must say so myself. So the first one says, Powell spoke today. I muted him. Here's why. Make sure you go check that one out after I get off the live stream. And then this one says, Trump is personally handing us the 2026 playbook. Pay attention. So these two give you a glimpse as to what I'm thinking is going to happen in the markets, what I think is going to happen in the economy. And I think this will be a very important time to accumulate. And, before we get that huge run up, before we get that huge send off, going into I'll probably say mid to late 2026. That's when I can see it happening. So who do we have in the chat? If you're new, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We got 4 people in the chat right now. Show yourself. No. I appreciate you stopping by. I just wanted to come on the live, talk about what happened during the FOMC press conference, and just giving my thoughts and my analysis on about what happened, what he said, and then talking about the markets. Like I said, I thought we were going to get a little bit more volatility coming in, but usually we get a lot of volatility a little bit after. So we're going to see how the dust settles over the next couple hours, and then we'll see if Bitcoin can potentially start to break out of this area here, this $93,500 to $94,000 area. This is what I'm looking at. So we are continuing to make, I'm on a 4-hour time frame, we are continuing to make these higher lows here. We have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then we have some higher highs here. But ultimately, like I said, we do have that resistance level coming in at about 93,500 to 94,000. So if we break above here, if you're new to the channel and you want to know, how I'm looking at the markets, if we break above this area, let me actually make this a little bit smaller so we can see the whole chart. Boom, right there. So if we can break above this 94, we'll say 94K area to be on the safe side. I'm looking at a quick move, possibly up to that $98,000 to $100,000 area. That $98,000 to $100,000 area. And I think that'll be a pretty, not quick as in like the same day or anything like that, but fairly quick, meaning possibly within that week. And I want to see us close, a daily above this $94,000 area. That would kind of give me more clarity as to the direction of the market, the direction of where Bitcoin wants to go in the short term. I still think, a lot of people don't think we're in a bear market. I still think we are in a bear market. And I was talking about this on a video yesterday. I was saying, okay, anytime somebody thinks of a bear market, what do you think of? What's the first thing that you think of? Just a long, drawn out period to where people are getting upset, people are, throwing in the towel, prices are just going down every day. Doesn't work like that. And we can't put a timetable or a time limit on the bear market. Bear market could last a month. The bear market could last 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Could last a year. It could last longer. I'm not in the camp of it lasting longer. I'm pretty much in the camp of it's going to be shorter than the past bear markets. The past bear market's been like 2 years. I mean, like a year and some change. I'm more in the process, or more in the camp of it's going to be a little bit shorter, and that's just because of the macro environment, where we are in the economy right now, how the unemployment rate is starting to tick up, how the everything in the economy is starting to look. It's like it's a lot of cracks, especially in the employment data. So I think going into 2026, that employment data is going to be a lot worse, or it's going to get a lot worse. Then we're going to have a new Fed chair come in May, who's going to be a lot more dovish. I feel like rate cuts are going to come a lot more frequent. I feel like more liquidity, some type of stimulus, some form of quantitative easing is going to come into the mix. And this is going to be good for assets. So if that's the case, if we started a bear market in October, let's say we started a bear market in mid-October or whenever it was, let's just say October, just so we can have a definitive start. I don't think it's going to last till next October. That's what I'm saying. So even though I think we are in a bear market now, I just don't think, we're just going to be in a bear market for a year. Not with the current climate, not with a new Fed chairman coming in who's probably going to be a pawn of Trump. It's going to, Trump wants rate cuts. Trump wants more liquidity. Trump wants quantitative. If it was up to Trump, we would have, we'll probably be at $200,000, $300,000 Bitcoin right now, because of the macro environment would be different. The macro environment would be different. So this is what I'm banking on. I don't try to, if you're new, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I don't try to, over here, the Cool Kids Alpha Club, this is what we call ourselves. I have a free Telegram. It will be in the description. I don't try to predict the future, but I kind of take everything that I can gather and then kind of come up with some sort of a thesis. If things change, I'll change. If things change, I'll change. So number one, over here, we're looking at trading in order to stack more Bitcoin. That's number one. And we're also looking to, that's the first and foremost. We're looking to trade to stack more Bitcoin. But our overall goal, our bigger goal, is long-term investing. And just stacking Bitcoin for the long term. So we trade and we invest over here on the channel, and we just want to continue to do that and continue to take high quality setups and continue to stack our bags while we are in what I think is a bear market. How low we're going to go, if we're going to just continue down, if we're just going to go sideways for a long time, who knows. But we are under that 50-week moving average, that 50-week simple moving average, which right now is coming in at 102.5. We closed 2 weeklies beneath there. So historically, like I keep saying, that has told us that we have been in that we are in a bear market. So right now we're just on Bitcoin watching to see what Bitcoin does. Right now we're getting a nice little dump. So if we go to a smaller time frame, let's go to the hourly. So before Jerome Powell came out, we got a nice pump here, and we got up to about 94.5. Then right before he came out, we got a nice dump to about 91. He started talking, we started to level out, and right now we're at 92.2 K for Bitcoin. So we're gonna watch this. I want to get a trade, possibly during the Asia session. So I don't really trade. I like to trade during the morning, market open to like noon. And if I don't catch anything by then, I'll get something towards the tail end of the stock market close around 3 to 4 o'clock. And if I don't get something around that, then I'm trying to get something around the Asia session, which comes on, I think that starts at like 7 p.m. Eastern time, or 7 or 8 Eastern time, anywhere between that, like a 3 or 4 hour window. So like 7 to 11, if I want to take some sort of a trade. And that happens Sunday night, going into our CME open, going into Friday. So anything after Friday market close and going into Saturday, I don't trade. I don't trade on Saturdays at all. Jesse G, what's up? Jesse G, long time. But yeah, appreciate you stopping by, man. Appreciate you stopping by. I just jumped on really quick, just an impromptu live stream. How you been? Let me know how you been. I saw you over in I think it was Trade Flies, or it might have been Alex O's Discord. So make sure you guys, stop by a little bit more cool long time. Yeah, everything's been good. Everything has been good, man. I've just been watching Bitcoin, been continuing to make content, continuing to stay locked in, and like I said, I want to go live a little bit more. I keep saying that, and then something will happen, and I just don't go live. But I want to definitely have some sort of a live stream schedule, and possibly at least 3 to 4 times a week. I think that'll be good for the channel, and that'll be good for the community as well. I have to DM you about everything else, bro. Yeah, DM me, definitely DM me when you get a chance, man. Let's wrap it up. I mean, let's chop it up and rap with whatever you have to say, man. But like I said, Bitcoin right now, Jesse G knows. He's into TA as well. He knows how Bitcoin is gonna go. We know we're here to trade Bitcoin. I'm sure he does this too, but we're here to ultimately stack and hold for the long term. But that's basically what I'm doing. So let's look at some altcoins. Really, Ethereum is still strong, and we talked about Ethereum first and foremost. We was looking at this Ethereum Bitcoin chart. And we put this over in the Telegram. If you are not in the Telegram, please make sure you are in the Telegram. We put so much alpha in the Telegram, free alpha in the Telegram. So I put this out on, what day was this? This was a few days ago. I said ETH has looked strong. I think this was like Sunday or Monday. I said ETH has looked strong against Bitcoin lately. Watching that this week like a hawk. I'll be on the chart shortly. I was on the treadmill. So yeah, this was probably Monday morning. And then ultimately, we did get that ETH Bitcoin breakout, nice little cup and handle. And this is when ETH started to break out, and it's been looking strong. So ETH against Bitcoin is still looking strong. And ETH right now, ETH USD is strong as well. So as the market, most of the market is looking pretty red. I'm going down the list. Everything is looking pretty red, including Bitcoin. Ethereum is up 1%. So this is solid for Ethereum. This is something that I've been holding. This is something that I wanted Ethereum to get to at least 6,000 in the bull run. It didn't get there. We got to, I think we got almost 5,000. But I was going to start selling some at around 6,000, and we didn't get there. So I'm still holding. I know Tom Lee is very bullish on Ethereum. I know, there are some other entities, some large entities that's very bullish on Ethereum. So my whole overall strategy when it comes to long-term investing no matter if it's crypto, no matter what it is, stocks, I follow the players. I follow the big money. And this is one reason why I was so convicted in the summer of 2023 when Larry Fink from BlackRock started to go on all these shows, and he started to go everywhere, and he started to talk about Bitcoin, and he was just the Bitcoin evangelist, the Bitcoin advocate. I'm like, oh, we're about to hop out of a bear market very quick. If Larry Fink is talking about it, and we're at lows, we're at 20,000, 25,000, I think at the time. We might have been in the low 20s. I said Larry Fink is starting to talk about it. We're going to start to blast up pretty soon. Let's see what Jesse said long time. Nice indicators. Okay, yeah. Let me see some of those indicators, Jesse. Make sure you shoot them over to me when you get a chance, man. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, Ethereum. I'm watching Ethereum. Hopefully, like I said, if my thesis does play out, maybe we'll get another dump. Like, I'm probably banking on some more dumps, going into 2026. And when bad news, if you've been watching, we haven't really been getting too much economic data, but bad news, welcome to everybody who just joined. Bad news has been good news for the market. So if the economy, if we get some sort of a bad job number or something like that, it was like good news. The economy is, the unemployment rate is doing bad or is going up. So the market was like, yay, rate cuts. That propelled the market. So what I'm thinking now is going to happen is going into 2026, the early part of 2026, once we start to get this data start to roll in again, because remember, we wasn't getting data. We wasn't getting official data for a while because of the shutdown. So what I'm thinking is once we start to get these more or get all this data starting to come in, I think bad news will start to really become bad news. And once that happens, I think that'll be a catalyst for, some of the market, a lot of market volatility and a lot of mini crashes, so to say. So I don't know if we're just going to get some huge dump down, like past bear markets, because we didn't have a euphoric bull market. And the reason we get such a drastic move from top to bottom is because the euphoria comes in. Everybody's pumped. Everybody's saying Bitcoin is never going down again. Top. Everybody's buying the top, and it keeps going. And then boom, that rug is pulled from under us, and the market just starts to panic and everybody's trying not to be the last person out. And that's how you get that huge cascading down move in a bear market, because of the euphoria. We didn't get that euphoria. We didn't get any type of blow off top. We've had some struggle moves to the upside, and then we had some dumps. We had more struggle moves to the upside, then we had some dumps. So that's why I think we're not going to just get some huge 70 to 80% Bitcoin crash. Really believe that. I can't tell the future, but I really believe that. So with that being said, I think it's just going to be a slow, methodical climb down. We'll get some up moves, of course, because the bear market is just not down only if we are in a bear market. But I think it'll be more of a slow grind down until we find some sort of a bottom, until my thesis comes into play where we get our new Fed chair and we get more dovish. We get more, and the market is forward looking. We'll talk about some charts in a minute, but the market is forward looking. So once the new Fed chair is announced and this person is known to be like a dovish person or something like that, we're going to start pricing that in as well. And I think it's going to be announced very soon. So I think personally, we're going to have a period of sideways to down. Everybody's going to be, very distraught about the market. But then I think, we'll find some sort of a bottom and we'll start to rally back up. I think we're going to hit new all-time highs in 2026. I don't know if it's going to be like drastic all-time highs. I think we're going to be around or get back to around all-time highs somewhere in those 100 to 100, 100 teens, like 110, 120, and then possibly going into the tail end of 2026, maybe 2027, we start to get those really crazy numbers once the rate cuts really start to matriculate through the economy and things like that. AI Optimus Prime, AI Market Cipher. Okay, so you got all the indicators right here. Appreciate that, Jesse. I'll make sure to get on those. I don't know how to save this because once I get off of the chat or once I get off of the live stream, I'm not sure if they're going to delete or not. So make sure you DM me those as well. And Jesse, also, my Discord is pretty much finished. Once I'm completed with it, I'm going to send you a link, and I want you to come over there and do some moderating for me and do some if you have some time or whenever you have some time, just come over there and kind of lead the Discord for me as well, with a few other people. So I appreciate that. So let's talk about a few more altcoins. Then I got to go play basketball with my sons while my wife works out at the gym. XRP. So XRP was following a nice little trend line since when was this? Since the end of November, around November 21st. And we've been holding it. We had a couple swing failures below, but now it looks like we have closed. So we have about 3 hours, 2.5 hours. Looks like we may close below this upper sloping trend line on the hourly. I mean, we can even kind of pull that down and make it touch a little bit better right there. So we're still below there. So it looks like we may, if we don't get some sort of a pump, it looks like we may close below this trend line that we've been in. And XRP has been kind of quiet over the past few months after we got that huge rally, up to I think we got up to what, $3 or something like that. It's kind of been down only. It's kind of been very lackluster, but this is one of the ones that I think is going to do well. XRP has stood the test of times. I don't think XRP is going anywhere. And if I was to accumulate anything other than Bitcoin, it would be XRP, to be completely honest with you. I know people hate XRP. I know people call it, a banker's coin and this and that. But if I'm looking at it purely from a risk to reward perspective, and I'm looking at, okay, XRP's been around since I want to say 2014. And XRP has put a decade in the space. I don't think XRP is going anywhere. So not looking at it from a crypto decentralized perspective, but looking at it from a risk to reward, I'm trying to make my money appreciate perspective. You have different people in crypto who are for different things, to be honest with you. A lot of people are in crypto for just the price appreciation. A lot of people, I care about the tech, to be honest with you. I love the price appreciation. Of course, I'm in it to invest and make money, but the tech, I love the tech. I also love how different things are being implemented. This is XRP. A lot of the XRP community are saying that this is going to be, the money flow, the money system is going to be intertwined into the money system at some point. I'm not that big of a bull on XRP, but when it comes to standing the test of times and the likelihood of my of my investment appreciating, I think XRP is up there. And right now, what we're looking at for XRP, let's actually look at some indicators. What are we looking at here? Let's turn this off. I want to look at the RSI, but I also have, let's see. Let's delete that. Let's just pull up a regular RSI. Matter of fact, we can pull up the RSI Prime from Chart Prime. I like this one. I'm looking for any type of divergence or anything. Let's look at the daily. So we do have a small bit of divergence. We do have a small bit of divergence on the daily. We can see this. Well, let's see. Let's reverse that and see. Nope. So we just have RSI coming down as well as with the price coming down. So no type of divergence, no type of hidden bearish divergence as well. So I mean, right now we're in waiting mode. We're waiting to see what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is at a moment of decision. So let's go back to the hourly on Bitcoin, and then, you know, you guys just make sure you keep 94K on your radar. If we can keep 94K on our radar, if we can break above 94K, then I mean everything else will follow suit. AI Griff, what's up? Appreciate you stopping by, AI Griff, man. Just had an impromptu live stream before I go play basketball with my kids, man. So just talking about the FOMC, how it was kind of like a nothing burger, how I kind of don't. If you watch my last two videos, after you finish, go watch my last two videos, put them on like 2x speed. It take you like, you know, 5-10 minutes. I just been talking about my thesis of I'm not even really listening to Jerome Powell anymore, to be honest with you. Welcome to Jesse G. I appreciate you. Welcome to Loyal. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Jesse. Like I said, man, DM me that information, and we'll go from there. AI said, I thought for sure we would see a dump into or during the. Exactly. That's what I thought too. But I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe people are kind of like me. Like I said, my last two videos that I just posted today, and I posted a short, I'm like, I put Jerome Powell on mute. Like, I don't even care what he's saying anymore, because today they put out the economic projections for 2026 going into 2027. He's not even going to be here in 2020, most of 2026, and then going forward. So I'm kind of like tuning him out, because I'm trying to look and see what the new Fed chair, what type of direction the new Fed chair is going to take it, which I think is going to be like Scott Bessent. I can't remember. Scott Hassett or Bessent, I can't remember which one it is, but I just know that this person is seemingly very dovish when it comes to interest rates. They want interest rate cuts. They want a more liquid economy. They want a more robust, booming economy. And Trump, like it has been giving us the alley-oop, so to say. He's been telling us that, hey, the stock market's going to boom in 6 months. The economy's going to boom in 6 months. And I did the math. I think it was November. I'm like, what happens in 6 months? So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months. What happens in May? The Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, has to step down. So, I mean, the stars are aligning for, even if we are in a bear market, the stars are aligning for a shortened bear market. And I'm not, it's not in stone. I'm not writing it in stone. Even if maybe we're not in a bear market. Maybe we start to pump, in a couple of weeks and go to new all-time highs. I don't know. But I'm just preparing for the most probable scenario from my analysis, and that's what I just try to come and help you guys to come to your own conclusion, but also, listen to what I'm saying and try to implement that and just take what different people are saying, not the clickbait people, because they gonna get you wrecked. Just the people who are kind of savvy in the market, and the people who are kind of keep it kind of cool in the market, because this is what we need right now. That's what when I first got into crypto, and I was just everywhere, and my emotions was everywhere, and I was just, I couldn't control it. I had to buy, sell. Now I'm just like, whatever. Like when we had that dump in October, I feel like I slept like a baby while my portfolio was down like 6 figures. I went to sleep like this. I didn't even care, like, to be honest with you, because mostly now I've converted all into like Bitcoin. I have some Ethereum. I have Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, and then I had like some dust of some other altcoins that I just sold like a couple days ago before tax loss harvesting season starts, or before the new year starts. So I'm really like in a position to where I'm just trying to navigate, because if I would have known what I know now in 2020, man, I would be sitting on a yacht somewhere. Like I didn't navigate the market the way I should have. And I didn't navigate the market the way I should have in the bear market of 2022. 2021, I was still like fresh off the high, kind of a rookie in the space. 2022, going into that bear market, that's when I really started to, I probably said the mid part of that bear market is when I really started to like hone in on what's going on, what's how to trade, how to analyze the market, how to maneuver through the market, how to maneuver through who to listen to, because I listen to people too. I watch people too. So once you start to maneuver and weave through that and start to learn the market, start to manage your emotions and start to have a little bit longer term view as opposed to just trying to get rich off meme coins, which is possible. It is crypto, but just having three sets. I have three sets of rules or three sets of guides that I look at mentally. Number one, and first and foremost, is my long-term investment mentality. Once I got that down pat, I was good. Number two is my trading. And my trading is, my bread and butter. And this is what I use to try to put more into pot number one, the investments. And, I like to buy stuff with my trading money. And I'll tell you guys this. So any type of money that I make from like trading or YouTube and stuff, like I think I got paid like $40 from YouTube last week. Oh my God, I was ecstatic. Like Any like when I was working or when I work and I get paid like a few $1,000s, it's just like boo, you know what I mean? But when I make money off YouTube or when I trade or something, it's like I get a rush from that. So I just love to do this. I really love to make content. I really love to trade. So like I said, trading is the number two thing that I want to do, and that complements pot number one, which is long-term investing, buying more Bitcoin. And then number three, of course, we're trying to hit a few home runs when the market presents itself to swing for the fences. You know what I mean? So when the market is bullish, when things are going up, when opportunities present themselves, this is when I'm trying to take some money allocated from trading or some type of profits that I made from some investments that I might want to take a little bit out of. Then I go to the super risky gamble plays, and then I swing for the fences there. So those are my three types of things that I've been doing it. Yeah, I've been in crypto for a few years. Oh, I'm super numb. I'm not numb to the fact. I'm not numb in the sense that I don't care what's going on. Cause sometimes it'll be like, even with trading, like I am human. So even sometimes my analysis is like, okay, looks like Bitcoin probably gonna go down. It looks like Bitcoin might crash, and then Bitcoin pumps, and I'm like, dang, I should have been like long, or I should have, or even the reverse. If I'm thinking it's gonna go up, or even if I just don't take a trade and it goes the way I think it's gonna go, and I don't take the trade, I'll still be like, oh man. So I'm not too numb, but when it comes to mostly, everything that's going on, you look on X, you look on YouTube, and people are just going crazy and people crying and doing other things. I'm not like that. So I'm with you, AI. You said I missed out on 300 buying and selling. Oh, Seek VR. Don't even mention Seek VR. Man, somebody was talking about Seek VR. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Elio Trades or Elliott Trades. I can't remember. It was at like 9 cents or 8 cents, something like that. I bought some. I think it went up to like, I know it went past $1. It did something crazy. And I was holding because people were saying AI, it was VR and the metaverse and all this was supposed to come together. And then it was just like, it just crashed. I thought it was going to like $20. Number one, I wasn't even really savvy about market cap, which does matter in in a lot of instances. I wasn't like circulating supply, tokenomics. I wasn't really into nothing like that. I was just moon boy math, all moon boy math. So now I'm a little bit more, like you said, a little bit more numb and a little bit more smart and a little bit more realistic, especially now as the market is changing. So I think a lot of these, the way the market was back in when Seek VR was going crazy, I don't think we're going to get any type of market like that again. I think the market eventually will pick winners, just like how we came out of the .com boom. And then, the market started to pick its winners. It picked its Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all these companies. I think at some point the technology will evolve and adoption will evolve, and then it'll just pick its winners, and then we'll go from there. Jesse G added you as a friend on Discord. Okay, I'm going to check the Discord as soon as I get off, Jesse. I missed out. Okay, we read that one. I'm into Bitcoin mining and trying to learn more stuff about that. Yeah, that's a good way to go. That's definitely a good way to go. 113. Yeah, it went to 113. But I've never been in mining. I think my guy Tradefly, shout out to Tradefly. This was maybe 2 years ago or a year ago. He had bought some Casper miners, and I was a little bit intrigued. But I said, you know what? In crypto, you can try to be a jack of all trades, or you can try to master, one or two things. So it was either try to start mining and investing and just trying to do, mining, investing, or I was going to go investing and trading, or meme coins and investing. Like it's so many different ways. It's so many, like you really have to put time in to do this. Like a lot of people laugh at meme coin people and meme coin investors, the people who was in the trenches. But I sat there and watched one of my guys when we were out of town in the trenches. I mean, he was just sitting, he was at the computer for like 8 straight hours. It wasn't 8. I'll probably say like 5 straight hours just doing all time. He had like 3 screens. He had his phone and 2 screens. He had Soul Scan or on one. He was looking on X, like refreshing, doing something, looking at, trending topics and doing something on that on one. And then he had Trading View looking at the chart. So it's a lot that goes into it. It's impossible to like be a master of everything in crypto. You gotta like pick one or two and continue to go from there. Of course, you can be a long-term investor, but then after that, like I was trying to airdrop farm in the bear market, which I think that played out. I can't even open my computer that I have a lot of those hot wallets on. It's somewhere up here, and I don't have access to that computer. So those prices probably went up and down. I probably missed out on so much money in airdrops. Number two, what was I saying? Basically, I was saying it's so many different things in crypto that you could have did. So I think airdrop farming, people were trading. Then you had people were meme coins. Just so many different ways that you can make money. It was arbitrage. It's a lot of different ways that you can make money in crypto. But right now, what I'm trying to do is, I think we are in a bear market. I think we are, because we are below that 50-week moving average, which has historically showed that we are in a bear market if we close 2 weeks below that 50-week moving average. So I think right now, my opportune moment for me to accumulate. Anything under 100, I'm accumulating. Let's go back to the charts. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then we can, because I got to take my boys to play basketball soon. So this is how I'm looking at crypto. This is how I'm looking at Bitcoin. So of course, Bitcoin is going to, tell us the direction of the overall market. So we're just looking at Bitcoin right now. So if I'm looking at Bitcoin, I have a chart already, like it should already be. Okay. So Michael Saylor's break-even price. Michael Saylor's break-even price is about 75K. I think it's somewhere around there. So that's a number that I'm thinking is going to be a magnet. But number one, let's just delete these. So number one, I'm looking at levels. So right now we're at 92, and we're in a range from like 85 to like 90, 94 or something like that. So let's plot it out really quick before we get out of here. So we're in a range. Let's say we're around, 93 and a half, 85 and a half. That's our range. I feel like that's our range right now. If we lose that, I think we're going to 75. So this is how I will play it. Let me get my where's the writing tool? Here we go. So anything under 100 for me is accumulation. Anything under this is accumulation. I'm gonna just put ACC for accumulation. Anything under there, but it's gonna be slow accumulation under 100,000. So if I have a few $100, I'm just gonna keep deploying, a little bit under 100,000, which we're at now. Once we start to lose this and go back down, start to move down this area, I'll start to accumulate more. If we lose this 70 to 75K area, this is when I'm going to start deploying most of my capital, because my thesis is I think Bitcoin will not go down 80, 70, 80%. I'm thinking 50 to 60%. So if we take a measurement tool, and this is just my thesis, not financial advice, we can go to zero. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen, but you know what I mean? 40% would be at 70K. 43%, 44%. 50% would be 60K. 60% would be 50K. So that's that. I mean, that's just, and I don't even think 60%. I'm thinking maybe 50%. And like I said, 50% might be around 60. So I think we might can get a flash down in the 50s. And this would be where I would accumulate heavy. If we go down below there, you know, I probably wouldn't have any more money to deploy. I have to probably do some other stuff to get some more money. Anywhere between this 75 and this 60K area is when I'm deploying all the rest of my money. Even if we go lower, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to time the bottom. I feel like we're at least going to go back to all-time highs, which would be, you know, I'll double my money. But I think we're going to like, you know, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 in the future. So as we go down, especially if we get some sort of a crash, I'm going to deploy heavier. I'm going to put all this in the Telegram. Make sure you're in the Telegram, and the Discord will be up. Our Discord is going to be so fire, so community, so family oriented. I don't want it to just be like signals and, you know, trying to extract from the community. I feel like anybody who meets me, it's like, dang, I feel like we've known each other for a long time. And that's how I want my Discord to be. I want everybody who comes over to the Discord, the Cool Kids Alpha Club, it will be a Discord. We have a Telegram now, but the Discord will be up soon. I feel like if you come over here, you learn, you teach. We're going to do everything in there. We're going to have, you know, discussions about life, because all of this is intertwined. We're just not coming here to just read charts, look at charts, and be robots and be boring robots. I don't want to be that boring YouTube dude. I swear I don't. I don't want to be that boring clickbaity YouTube dude. I'll sacrifice subs to be, you know, to keep it real. So that's neither here nor there. When it comes down to it, I'm trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And I feel like if we start to go down, that's when I'll deploy more, and it'll all be in the community if you guys want to, you know, if you want to see that. So next time I'll also send everyone from the Piper Academy over to, yeah. So make sure, let's wait until that Discord is up, and then we'll get everybody over there, Jesse, and make sure you come over there so we can get you set up in the Discord too once we get that popping. AI Griff says 67 is the sweet spot. So yeah, I'm looking at that too. So even if when we come down, or if we come down to that $70,000 area, and let's say, you know, somewhere around that $70,000 area is some sort of a bottom, you're never just going to touch actual, you know, that round number. Probably get some sort of a swing failure pattern or something to come down, grab some liquidity, come back up, retest. That's how you really determine a bottom. You want to lose some sort of support, come back up, retest that, and then, you know, start to blast off. So I call this strategy, which I'm going to start teaching in length, is my R3 strategy: reclaim, retest, react. The R3. And I made that up. It's basically just a swing failure pattern, but the way I do it and the way I explain it is a little bit different. So this is my bread and butter in crypto, in trading. If I don't see this setup, usually I don't trade. Like I trade breakouts and I trade, you know, different things like that. This is kind of like a breakout, break and retest, but the way I'll show you guys is gonna be fire, man. EF Bomb, what up, FD? What's up, man? Am I pronouncing that right? At EFF Bomb, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. We just been talking about what happened at the FOMC, how I kind of put Jerome Powell on mute after a while. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you come over and watch this video here. I said Powell spoke today. I muted him. Here's why. So I'll let AI make my thumbnail. It was kind of funny. And then also 6 hours ago, I put out a video talking about Trump is personally handing us the 2026 playbook. So those are just my thoughts on what I think is going to happen in 2026. Not set in stone. Like I said, we are F-bomb. Oh, duh. Yeah, EFF. F-bomb. Yeah, my bad. Appreciate that. But yeah, we've just been chopping it up, talking about Jerome Powell, talking about how I see the market going into the first half of 2026, and then, you know, the second half of 2026 once we get a new Fed chair, Powell, a new Fed chair coming in to replace Powell. Yeah, so yeah, Frankie Candles comes on, I think at 5:30, right? Yeah, so I want to definitely check him out too. He's amazing TA guy. He used those volume profiles to a T. That's what I really like about Frankie Candles. But yeah, I gotta take my boys to play basketball soon, man. So I appreciate it. If you are here, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you have a little bit of time to watch those 2 videos that I just put out, make sure you leave a comment. YouTube, when the bear market or when crypto starts to come down or starts to, we really didn't get a big retail flush, and we really didn't get too much of retail coming back into the crypto YouTube. So I've been getting a lot of some good views here and there, and I kind of rebranded the channel to from FD White Invest to FD White Official. I wanted to be more personable, so make sure you go and check out my last 2 videos. I think these were pretty good, and I'm gonna continue to bring the heat. I promise you, I will continue to bring the heat. We're not going anywhere. I feel like these next few months will be very pivotal in your in your life. I feel like if we can continue to stay as a strong knit community and start to do the things that we need to do going into the second half of 2026, I feel like we'll all be pretty good. So who else we got Crux. Me and Crux got a hookup. Crypto Changed Me. What's up? I just subscribed to your channel. I think that was the week before last or last week. So he got some amazing videos over there. So make sure you go and check him out. Crux is the legend. And I got something to run by you too, Crux. Something for 2026, man. I want you to be a part of. So I'll run that by you when we collab, when we get together and we start collabing. So make sure you subscribe to Crux as well. If you don't know who Crux is, he's I'll probably say the top 2 or 3 best deep divers in crypto, bar none. So that's pretty much it, man. So I appreciate it. I gotta go take my kids to play basketball, and then yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody.